This is In the News in VOA Special English. Leaders from the 192 members of the United Nations gathered in New York this week for the new General Assembly. A big subject, not surprisingly, was the financial crisis on Wall Street that has restricted the flow of credit. Friday, British Prime Minister Gordon Brown called for urgent action to calm financial markets. He also called for new international groups to supervise markets in the future. President Bush discussed his financial rescue plan in his eighth and final speech to the General Assembly on Tuesday. In that speech, he also urged the world community to unite against terrorism and the spread of nuclear weapons. President Bush said Iran is among the few remaining countries that support terrorism, and he said its nuclear program, along with that of North Korea, demands world attention. In his words, we must not relent until our people are safe from this threat to civilization. Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmedinejad spoke a few hours later. He said Iran, like other countries, has a right to peaceful nuclear energy. He said a few world powers were bullying Iran through political and economic pressure. The Security Council has already passed 3 resolutions on Iran over its suspected nuclear weapons program. The 5 permanent council members and Germany met privately on Friday and agreed on a new resolution. The proposal does not include any new restrictions. Instead, it restates support for offering to help Iran if it halts uranium enrichment and to take additional steps if Iran refuses. Also at the United Nations this week, governments and private groups promised $16 billion to reduce poverty, hunger, and disease worldwide. Diplomats said that was more than anyone had expected. Secretary General Ban Ki-moon called it all the more remarkable because it comes against a backdrop of financial crisis. The new money is to meet UN goals to reduce poverty and improve education and health care in the developing world by 2015. $3 billion will go to a new plan to end malaria in Africa by 2015. World leaders also called for action on rising food and fuel prices and climate change. Among those urging greater action on global warming was the president of Sao Tome and Principe, Fradique Bandera Melo de Menezes. In the last 10 years, he said, ocean waves have begun to flood coastal roads in his island nation off the coast of West Africa. And on another subject, Iraqi President Jalal Talibani discussed security gains in Iraq. He said his government aims to take over security responsibilities for all of Iraq by the end of this year. He urged other nations to open diplomatic offices in Iraq, and he urged them to drop all sanctions and financial claims remaining from the days of Saddam Hussein. And that's In the News in VOA Special English, online at voaspecialenglish.com. I'm Steve Ember.